welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk to STAR Citizen with members of the community. Hey, Griffin, what's today's date?
Today is Thursday, September the, 16th.
Wait, what year? That's the important part. What year?
This is 2021.
Listen and understand, the vandals are out there. They can't be bargained with, they can't be reasoned with, they don't feel pity or remorse or fear. Then they absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are dead. Come with me if you want to live.
I would say Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Here's another hint.
I know who it is.
With watching Griffin with his origin, it was suddenly so clear. His origin would never stop. It would never leave him. It would never hurt him, shout at him, or get drunk at him, or hit him. And it was, or say it was too busy to spend time with him. It would always be there, and it would self-destruct to protect him. Of all the would-be protectors who came and went over the years, this machine, was the only thing that measured up. In an insane world, it was the sanest choice.
Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No more hints.
No more hints? All right. Yeah, I had to keep throwing Arnold Schwarzenegger in at least to give you an idea that I knew who it was. But yeah, great quote from Terminator. Very good.
And I did T1 and T2. I originally wanted it to do it on August 29th, that show, but we got sidetracked.
Okay, cool. I'm bringing people in because I've got to step away, okay?
Okay.
That's T2.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Yeah, how's it going?
Okay.
How you doing today, sir?
Everybody up to?
Oh man, just living the dream. Man. Living the dream.
Ready for the show?
Ready for the show. What you got for us today, Mr. FC?
Yeah, normally I do the intro with Griffin saying what we've been up to this week. So I'll just do what I've been up to. I've been up to No Man's Sky. We had two people in here. Yeah, I got like 20 hours into the game already. We're talking about what we've been doing this week, Griffin. What have you been doing this week?
Hanging out with you guys. We came off of our week last week of Icarus, and
Yeah.
we got sucked into No Man's Sky, right?
Mm-hmm. And this is my first time playing. Oop, I gotta up my volume. Okay. Include just my volume or everyone else, or everybody's volume?
Just yours. I think yours was a little low on the.
Okay, I did it. Thank you. Hopefully I should sound better. Let me know if I do. Just yours. Okay. So yeah, I last night I updated my BIOS for my computer, for my motherboard. So that was interesting. Normally I have a UPS going for my to my PC, but I need new batteries, so it was a little bit worrisome. Like, if the power goes out now, I'm screwed.
Yeah, that's touch and go. Something bad happens during that, and it's a wrap. Unless you have one of those motherboards with the BIOS reset buttons.
I do, but I never, you know, I never have to deal with it before, and it's just nerve-wracking for me.
I mean, were you having a problem with it, or you just decided to just do an update?
I just decided to do an update. The last BIOS was 6 months old. Well, no, January, so 7 months old.
Well, wait a minute. Did you need to do it, or was it that you just did it to do it?
I did it because I was having some issues with No Man's Sky. I was hoping that, I didn't know what was in it. Like, I can't use my joystick in No Man's Sky for some reason, so I figured, it couldn't hurt.
So No Man's Sky did put out just another update, like
I saw that
yesterday, today. That was So between that and there are some people that are having problems with regard to the Steam controller. So after on off air, I can talk you through some stuff I did to change the Steam controller for New World, because that uses the same control scheme thing.
Yeah, I'd appreciate
Oh,
that.
really?
Thank you.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
sir.
okay. I didn't.
I
Well,
mean,
well,
it's,
use the
it's, it's
controller.
weird. It's weird because like I can get my joystick to work in Final Fantasy 14, but not No Man's Sky, which is a base game. So it's weird.
Yeah. So New World isn't supported 100% for the controller, but you can still, there's a workaround where you can use the actual Steam controller in the game, and it worked great for all last weekend when I was playing the hell out of that.
I don't have a Steam controller. I just have a T16000.
Well, you no, you
okay.
can use any of them, because I'm not using a Steam controller either. I'm using an Xbox Elite Pro controller.
Oh, nice.
All right. So let's get into it.
All right.
This week, we have a new sneak peek. It's on the screen. I should be sharing my screen. I'll do that in a moment. But we say the title of it is "We're going to kick this thing into gear." So what do you suppose that is?
That is landing gear for a very large ship.
And do you think it's a ship that's coming out or something we already have?
Well, since it's a sneak peek, I think it's probably a ship we don't have yet, or may not have been released yet.
I mean, sometimes they do Gladius upgrades and stuff like that. So it should be a rework.
Not this close to the Citizen Con. It's a hint to something we ain't seen probably.
Pascal, I think it's a piece of equipment.
Could be that too.
If you zoom in on that label in the middle of that, not the X, but to the left of it on the side.
Zoom and enhance.
Just open up the original and just zoom into it.
Yeah, let me put it in.
At first glance, I thought it was a surface-to-air missile launcher. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's what I thought.
It looks very industrial.
Drake.
Yeah.
So the sign that you're talking about when you zoom in enhance is machinery may move suddenly. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that little tiny.
Is that the exosuit?
No, that is landing gear for a
larger
Anvil Corvette. Cough, cough.
That would be nice.
What about the Anvil Capital?
Well, to be clear, my prediction was Anvil subcap / cap. Like Corvette is big. Like it's going to be a big subcap or a baby cap. It's going to be in that range. It's not going to be Javelin size. It's going to be
I mean,
just under.
Do we actually need any more big ships? Need is the wrong word.
Well, it's funny because Anvil, I mean, as far as size of ships, they don't have that. Like Kai said, they don't have that ship that is a nice big class ship. So, Aegis and RSI, they've got them. But for the other military, oriented manufacturer, it kind of makes sense that something would come from them.
And when you make the comment, Fast Card, do we really need more big ships? Here's the thing. You don't need big ships until you have big ships. So when you have javelins and bangles out there eventually, that's when you need your Perseus and that's when you need these, like when you have great whites, that's when you need your killer whales or whatever. Where it's like you have these pretty big but not as big, but they hunt the big hunters.
Papa Doc, thank you for the 10-month subscription. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Thank you, Papa Doc.
So, yeah, so the people who had the big ships, you said RSI, who is
Aegis.
So, Anvil, okay.
Yeah. Drake. Drake, yeah. This one's had a lot of people wondering. I think everybody's been talking about this particular image. Nobody can really get it nailed down completely as to what it is. But whatever it is, it's something I don't think we've seen. But we'll see.
Landing gear on the Pioneer.
Hey, that's a good one.
Very good. Very good.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So up next, we're covering the server wipe. I don't have it in Discord. I'll be that in a minute. But we have a currency hotfix and upcoming wipes. That's the title of the thread I have on the screen at the moment.
Thank God.
And so they're doing a currency data hotfix. They said that they found a problem and they hopefully resolved it. So you may not have gotten everything back, but you should have gotten a lot of what you lost back.
Enjoy it while it's there.
Right.
Okay.
Trying to figure that one out.
I love
Yeah.
the way they worded it. You get your fix, and now we're going to take it all away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take it away.
I love it.
And I
15 database.
But it also tells you in there that they're looking into giving us the money, possibly giving us the money back from Xeno because of
We'll get to that.
everything that everybody went through.
Yeah, so they said the last wipe was 18 months ago. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah.
3.7.
over 18 months ago, it was 3.10.
Yeah, and they had talked about originally, if you guys remember, they had said that wipes would be quarterly, and I think they even made mention of the fact that it went longer, which obviously people were happy with because quarterly wipes is kind of, but I don't think people are barking too much if it's going to fix some things and get some things in place. Well, yeah, but I'm just saying in general. I mean, new people don't keep forgetting about this is about testing. It's not about the game and maintaining. So I'm just saying in general, I think that the fact that they didn't do the quarterly, and that it's only happening now, people are kind of like, okay, go ahead and do it.
So with regard to the wipes, a couple real quick observations. Number one, of course they were going to do this. They're literally putting in physicalized inventory. So they're going from the magical bag of holding where every one of us has billions of items that we can just grab into this magical box and pull it out like, oh, here's my 800 helmets. Here's my 400 guns. So they're moving all of that to a system of we have discrete databases for each location, each whatever. If you left this hat or this gun or this shoes in a locker on this planet, you have to go back to it. So this is similar from a data transfer or data tracking standpoint as like moving house, right? And what do you do when you move house? You get rid of all of your excess shit that you don't need because it's less stuff that you have to lug over. Except for in this particular case, they're not lugging stuff over from location A to B. They're lugging stuff from locations A through double Z to A through double Z and all of this weird whatever. So of course they were going to do that wipe. Like that's a no-brainer. But in addition to that, they gave some really good news in that post that's up in front of us right here. Number one, up until now, every patch has been a full reset of your reputation. And now they're saying money, assets, and reputation are going to be 3 discrete items that are all tied to their own persistent loop so that you can get a wipe at any time on any of those 3, but you won't necessarily. So 3.15, when it drops, should be the last guaranteed every patch you have to redo all your certs. That's huge good news for people.
Yep.
It is. Yeah, totally agree.
I mean, they say that, but I mean, I would forgive them if there's a few more before everything goes down or goes live.
I mean, but to your point, I think that they do want to minimize it. I think the quarterly announcement was just to safeguard themselves in case it was needed if there were real issues. But I think that they're getting to the place where this level of persistence is something that they can maintain. I was really amazed at in fact, when we get to the ISC today, we can talk about the fact that this ISC really shows that the eye caching thing is definitely in place. This whole inventory tracking thing is a big deal now, and people are going to be much more impacted by losing stuff now. Particularly once if you've got to the point where you've stocked your ship, you stocked your hab, you stocked this, that, and the other, to lose that now will be a lot more painful than when everything's just on you, because the labor it takes for you. And, they want us to think strategically. They want us to think about logistically. It will hurt a lot more if they have to do major wipes. once we get into this mode. So to Kai's point, this is a big deal.
Yeah. I think it'll give you a good way to figure out how to get started again with this new setup as well. It's a learning experience for everyone to go back from the beginning and start from
DK,
anew.
I can't get started because I don't have my measurement in game. I don't have my endeavor in game.
Right. Right. You already hear that argument, right?
That's all right. You got that Aurora. That's all you need.
There you go.
I ran box missions in an Argo or an Argo cargo today. Yeah.
Fast part one day easy.
Yeah, I fed the hype.
Speaking of the Argo, our next topic is the ship Showdown. So, was anyone surprised by some of the winners and losers so far?
No.
No? Really?
Not really. No.
Called it.
Figured I would get through.
The
You
600
recall.
through, and wow, that was a close one.
Yeah.
That's less than 100 by I think at the end.
No, it's 152. I counted. I did the math.
So it did go up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah,
How about that poor Razor? Did that thing get dusted or what?
Big time.
Yeah,
I think it was like 9-1, 9-1. It was crazy.
That was a setup.
Yeah, that was an unfair match.
So let me click on some of these because it has the results at the bottom, or you can't really see it on the screen. But I'll just say it. So the Hercules beat the Caterpillar. The Hercules had 15,538, and Caterpillar had 5,670. So
I feel like this needs that clip of Eddie going, Hercules, Hercules.
Yeah, I'll work on that for next time. How about that?
All right.
It depends on if it beats the Reclaimer today, which it looked like it's doing, because it's like I have to reload. But yeah, it was 8,000, 4,000. Right now it's 9,000 to 5,000. So then the Reclaimer versus the Argo Mole was Reclaimer 8,000, 8,200, Argo Mole 7,100. So it was closer, but yeah, the Reclaimer. I'm not surprised by that one. The Kirk and Andromeda, however, I would have thought for sure that the Andromeda would have won because the Kirk is a consistent winner, but no. The Kirk had 13,000, Andromeda only had 5,000. So,
oh, good lord!
If there was a betting pool for like Sweet 16 like they do in college, I would have lost it at that point. And then you had the MPUV versus the Freelancer Max.
That was a slaughter. You knew that was
11,000 to
7,000. Yeah. That meme is poured out, y'all. But hey, I soaked into it. I bought one in game. Might as well spend your credits while you got it.
Yeah, this is the one that caught everyone by surprise. The Cutlass Black versus the 600i. So the Cutlass Black had 10,482. The 600i Explorer had 10,634. So I think someone.
Why would that catch anybody by surprise then?
The Cutlass has won 3 times already. I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's got zillions of skins. The 600i has one, which is locked behind a paywall.
Yep.
I feel like if anything, I'm a little surprised that it was that close that the 600 didn't take it by more. But the Cuddy does get a lot of love, so I get it.
Yeah, it's the most the referred ship for a lot of people to upgrade from, say, a Titan. Most requested. Yeah.
So to be clear, I'm not surprised that the 601. I'm surprised they were so close. It was like 152, like I said. So go ahead, go ahead, Griffin.
No, I was going to say of course, I wanted the 600 to win, but I called it for the Cutlass. I thought that the Cutlass would have just a little bit more access to more players. But something that DK mentioned last week, he talked about how the 600 and some other people have talked about the combat capability of the 600i right now. It's still a powerful ship when it goes into combat, and there were people flying that thing around in Xeno. I was really surprised. It wasn't just DK. I saw a few other people flying that thing out in Xeno. So maybe it got some love because of that. I thought it wouldn't happen until the gold standard happened, but boom. And maybe it's been just like Jade said. Maybe it's also a little bit of fact that we've done the Cutlass enough. Let's move on to something else. So
I think it's both. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think the gold standard coming up is also attributing to that because
I don't know.
No, it's on the roadmap.
I don't know, but I'm excited because I looked at the timeline for that. It's almost 6 months, which means that they're doing a whole lot more than just making components, physicalized. If they're putting that much time into it, something tells me we're going to see a little bit of rework, and I'm hoping that's the case. But that's my prediction. Y'all didn't hear that from nobody. I'm just saying, based on that much of a timeline for it, that's a long time in comparison to what they did with the Gladius and some of the other ships.
From you, Griffin. You're somebody.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
Then next
They're
up we
in
had
Newport, so we can look outside.
Ooh, yes.
And then after that, we had the Retaliator Bomber versus the Bandit Defender. I was kind of surprised with this one. There was 12,000 for the Bomber and versus almost 6,000 for the Defender. So
yeah, but we called that last week because remember we talked about the Bandit with the Defender getting nerfed and the Retaliator being much more used in Xeno. A lot of people who have left the Retaliator a long time ago and got back in turrets and everything, and they were having a lot of fun with it. So
plus the Retaliator is riding a hype cycle right now where it's been in ISCs and it's been mentioned and they've been talking about changes to it.
Yep.
So next up, this was a no-brainer for me at least, but I was surprised at how badly it got stomped. The Mercury Star Runner had almost 15,000 votes. The Razor only had less than 3,000, so that was like a 5-to-1 ratio.
Such a setup, man. Of course, Razor? I think,
yeah. I mean, who put that together?
I mean, well, who put the Cutlass versus the 600 together? That was a good one, but yeah, it can't all be tight.
Here's the thing, though. What ship could you have put up against the MSR where the MSR wouldn't have beat it like a redheaded stepchild? With the possible exception of the possible exception of the Argo Cargo, because of whatever the MSR would have beat the Carrack like a redheaded stepchild.
No, it lost to it the last time. It lost to it the last time. That one, the C2 maybe. I don't know.
The C2 is the one I was thinking about. It would have had to have been the Crusader against Crusader on that one.
Oof, war crimes in the family.
Oof, right?
and the last one for round one was the Gladius versus the Saber. So the Gladius had 6,700, and the Saber had almost 10,000. So
yeah.
Yep.
That one, I mean, it was close, but not as close as the Cutlass versus 600i. So right now we're doing the Hercules versus.
So the Saber one, that one?
Yes, the Saber one.
The Saber one.
Now that's a surprise to me right now.
Oh, why?
Just because the Saber has been hit with the nerf bat. The Gladius is still an actually really viable single-seater combat ship, where the Saber right now is only people that are flying the Saber are the people that love the Saber, right? And they have that, that, I don't know, it's not logical love of it. And they don't
whoa. What is that supposed to mean? I love my Saber. My Saber.
Yeah, but all right, so some people go and say, okay, I want to go do a job. I want to go do something. I want to go shoot something. I want to go carry boxes. I want to do something in the game, right? And then they're going to say, all right, what am I going to fly? Am I going to go and find the best possible ship to do this in, so it'll make the job, as easy and efficient? Or am I going to fly my favorite, the one that I love, one of my first combat ships? It may not be S tier anymore, but damn it, I love my Saber, and that's what a lot of those are the
All
people that are still flying the Saber.
Let me give you the counter to that. The first fighter I flew was the Gladius. In fact, I fly the Gladius because the Gladius is the ship that we're all going to have to fly in Squadron 42. So I'm familiar with the Gladius. The reason why I think some people might went with the Saber is that the Saber is a bit more sturdier and not as much of a glass cannon, even though the agility on the Gladius is better. And for people who are really good pilots, they may go with the Gladius. But for the people who aren't as good and want a little bit more tankiness to themselves, I think that's more of the majority of the players. They would go with the Saber.
So
that has nothing to do with favorites. That has to do with the builds on those ships and how they perform. And
sorry.
Go ahead.
They just took out like a shield from the Saber. So I think it's a lot.
Yeah, it's less tanky. It's less tanky than it was.
Yeah, but still, well, to me, I get knocked out in this Gladius more than I do in a Saber, and that's even after they did the change on it. But that's just me. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
To Gomab's point, though, like the Gladius isn't even, this is a viable ship. The Gladius is S tier, top of the rankings, phenomenally overpowered strong ship in this right now in this meta. But I mean, I think there's also the fact there might be a little bit of a pushback from the standpoint of like, well, I mean, the Gladius is the ship that always gets gold standard. The Gladius is going to be the star of Squadron 42. We're all going to have it, blah, blah, blah. There might be a little bit of a like, but I like, you know what I mean? Like, this is fine, but I like that.
Could be. All I'm saying is that I fly the Saber more because of performance, not because it's my favorite ship. And I've flown both of those ships. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah. The 4 size 3s on it don't hurt either. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, if you change them out, they're even better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beast.
Yeah, we're doing the Xeno thread. I threw my Super Hornet, and I can't. I went between the Super Hornet and the Gladius. The Gladius is too glass cannon for me. So yeah.
See, that to my mind is, and I'm not making any aspersions on any pilots whatsoever, but that to my mind, the Super Hornet is the ultimate kind of, I can get by as a noob. Like, that is so forgiving. It is so tanky as hell. It's so heavy. Yeah. It's one of those deals where it's like, I don't have to dodge. I'm just going to face tank it while I roll my nose back and forth across the keyboard, and you die.
Yeah. Oh, you beat me to it. I was just about to put my face to my keyboard just now. Going, that's exactly what I did, too. No, I
you're right. You're right. As Smoke says, he flies to 325A. I love that ship. I agree, man. I love it. It's a good little combat ship. It holds its own.
Was that in previous Showdown? No.
No, it hasn't. I don't think it's even been in one. None of the 300.
In the right pilot's hands, there's a few ships that are just completely worthless in the game. But in the right pilot's hands, most ships can be serviceable.
Yep.
The
way it should be.
Yeah, and some ships are going to be more like Chris said, more accommodating to certain play styles or piloting abilities, right? But all things being equal, if you are a moderately to highly competent pilot and you have access to all the ships and you just want to get in and get something done, you're not going to pick the Saber. You know what I'm saying? That's just not.
No, I don't know what you're saying, but go on with your point.
No, you're not going to pick the Saber.
There are plenty of pilots out there, the Saber pilots, that would argue that point to you, and I'm just telling you that they will. It's their preferred ship. You can say that all you want, but it's evidence. Okay, well, you tell me how come those numbers are the way they are right now, and it ain't just because people love it.
Well, that's why I'm surprised.
Well, there you go. Stay surprised. Because I'm telling you, there are people that like the Saber.
It's nostalgia for the 2.6 flight model.
Yes. Now that I can see.
Okay.
So, like the current competition between the C2 and the Reclaimer, I mean, who didn't see that coming, right?
Yeah.
We've all said C2 think is going to progress pretty far.
Yeah.
What about the next one, gang?
The next one,
Carrick and MPUV. Tyler Whitkin's got a bet on this one, by the way, too.
If the MPUV wins this, then this entire competition is invalid.
It's
See,
gonna
that's the
win.
same. That's the same thing Colossal said.
It's gonna win.
Yep, Cargo's gonna win.
I think the Cargo's gonna win.
Cargo makes it to Final Four. I think Cargo makes it to Final 2 off the strength of its meme, and then people chill out and go, yeah, but MSR. I think it's MSR 1, Cargo 2.
No, if it gets past the C2, then it needs to go ahead and win everything. You know what I'm saying? just finish the drill, right? Like,
yo, legit, I'm calling 1 through 4. Ready? Mercury Star Runner, Argo Cargo, 600, Hercules, and 600 in that order, 1 through 4. I'll put money on it. Anybody in the cast want to go?
Yeah, we had a bet last week. So there's already a $500,000
I don't
AUC
know.
going on.
I would have to beg to differ on that 600 because I mean I think the Retaliator may step up.
I don't know though, man. That 600 needs some love as far as.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
Retaliator already has some.
I'm not saying that it don't need love, but I'm just saying with everything that's coming in as far as with the Retaliator and all of that. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
so let's
I'm
go
just
in order.
saying.
Let's go in order. So between the Carrack and the MPV, I think the Cargo is going to win. Does anyone think the Carrack is going to beat it? No. Okay. Between the 600, what?
I don't know, man. The Carrack should beat it, but I'm a realist. But the Cargo will beat it, but the Carrack should beat it.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you an Argo Cargo Si Se Puede T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
So between the
by the way,
happy between the 600i and the Retaliator Bomber, what do you think is going to win?
Tally should. The Tally should, but
I think the Tally. I think the Tally will.
I'm hoping for the 600 because I like the look of it. I'm not going to get one, but yeah, I like the look of it. But yeah, I think the Tally.
600i, it's going to win this, but it's going to be close, just like last time.
Yeah,
think so.
Totally agree.
So we just weaker.
Yes.
Never bet against Jade.
I think there's too much of a strong. You saw that whenever it would fall behind even a little bit, there was like a surge that would put it ahead again. So I'm thinking that's too much.
I didn't keep track of it for the whole 24 hours. So I did like every 3 hours or 4 hours just to see it, but it was always close to me.
I'll tell you what, 600i folks are dedicated. They will vote.
Yeah, but I was all up in the jump club, just like keeping the faith going. We can do this.
Ballot harvesting.
That's right. I voted 5 times.
Jade's like the meme Jedi. Don't vote against her. She gets this.
I know my memes, right? That's all.
Okay, so between the Mercury Star Runner and the Saber, everyone is saying the Mercury Star Runner. Anyone think the Saber is going to beat the Star Runner?
No.
Why are you even asking that question?
I don't know. Ask Griff, man.
To be fair and partial,
I
right?
love it. No. I think
be fair and partial.
Yeah. Fair and partial is out the window with the MPUV even still in the competition.
If the Saber wins, I will stream every night for a week playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
For how long?
For a week.
I'm going to vote hard just for that.
For how long?
How long each day?
4 hours.
4 hours.
You must love Hello Kitty.
All right. Sounds good.
Somebody make that post on Spectrum.
He secretly loves that game, so he's
Somebody put that post on Spectrum.
Oh, that's dirty.
So the winner was crowned on September 23rd. Today is the 16th. So I think we'll know the winner by this time, or we'll know who's in the lead. No, the winner should be crowned on September 23rd. So we'll know who wins. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, next week. Oh, God.
All right, so one more week.
Yeah, next Wednesday we'll know.
Yeah. People
people
got their picks in for the Final Four. And and the top one, people are saying the Mercury Star Runner or the Argo Cargo.
You think those would be? I think those would be top 2.
I agree with
Yeah.
DK.
Yeah,
But who are
Agreed.
you guys picking to take it all the way?
that's
You
a
see, that's
close.
tough.
That's a hard one.
I don't know how strong the meme is.
It's the meme against the star.
Yeah.
And that's the hard. That's no pun intended, but that's the hard. That's the one that's going to be.
I mean,
challenging, very challenging.
it could be a closer battle than the Cutlet versus the 600.
Oh, it'll be close. Yeah.
Look at it like this. We're at the bottom of a patch cycle. And this is usually
Mhm.
when people get restless and, this is usually when things get salty, like more salty than normal. So that favors the meme going all the way.
I could see that.
Yeah, it could go either way. We'll see.
You know what it kind of reminds me? It kind of reminds me of if y'all ever watched American Idol, there used to be this thing called vote for the worst.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Here's the other thing, Jade. I'd like to bring up a counterpoint to your point and see what you think about
Okay.
this.
All right.
We're also just on the heels of an announcement of a wipe, and people are going to be looking at, I might have 18, 20, 30 ships in game, but that's about to get reshuffled. If I could pick one ship that I kind of really, really want, that I love, and get it at a slight discount and lock that in for the next patch cycle, they might come out of their wallets even a little bit more to grab an MSR for funsies.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
definitely
know.
something to consider. Yeah.
I mean, I already
It's
have
the
a,
most
I already,
useful shit.
I already have a CCU for the MSR, but I'm waiting for CitizenCon to see whether or not they'll come out with something that I may want in place of it or in addition to it. So I'm definitely getting the MSR coming out October.
I think a lot of people too are going to bet on buying a whatchamacallit,
The skin?
Retaliator, Redeemer, the one with the
Oh.
the flat iron
Redeemer.
wings,
the Redeemer.
I think a
Mhm.
lot
The
of people
Redeemer.
I think a lot of people are going to bet on buying a
Did someone cut out or just me? Hello? I don't hear anyone. Uh-oh. Hi, you cut out. No, everybody cut out. Alright, I'm going to quit and rejoin Discord real quick. Give me a moment. Oh, Discord, it looks like Discord is just having connecting issues. Yeah. Solo stream. Yeah, it looked like Discord is having a connection issue. So we're gonna move on, and hopefully, by the time I'm gonna do ISC, and hopefully by the time ISC is over, hopefully everyone will be back. Our Discord will fix the issue. So okay, ISC. We're talking about inventory repertory. So this week they said. This week, Inside Star Citizen continued our look at the changes on the horizon for Alpha 3.115. Richard Tyler and Chris Perry dive into the next major step toward a fully physicalized universe as they show off the upcoming overhaul to items and inventory.
Me again. It's time for part 2 of Alpha 3.15 Changes Everything. This week, the team is back to talk inventory and finally put all those globals and locals and vehicles and externals and personals into context with one another as they set the table for a truly physicalized universe coming down the line.
Healing, we're introducing like the next big step towards Death of a Spaceman. Now we're introducing the first huge leap towards the physicalized inventory. This is really the biggest milestone for inventory in general. The move towards physicalized inventory is really an attempt to make players think and make choices.
This is the loop where you have to decide what I take with me is the stuff that I have access to me.
And those choices should be reflecting players' gameplay choices, their styles. The descriptive manner will mean that you get emergent roles in the groups, people bringing all the healing with them because the other guys around them have all the ammo, that kind of thing. So that there are so many different aspects involved in restricting things that encourage communication and cooperation, that change the way that you play the game and ultimately drastically impact the experience.
So if you've played Star Citizen, and I hope you have, then you'll be familiar with the global inventory. You're able to access anything you want at any location.
You could be carrying a whale in your backpack, and we don't want that.
That is being nuked with prejudice. So from now on, you won't have access to the PMA. You will still have access to the VMA for all of your ships and your ship items and equipment, but anything related to your character will be in the local inventory. Local inventory is the largest space that you have access to. It's not infinite, but it will be the largest space that you have access to. And that is tied to what you'd imagine, the location that you're in.
So let's take, for example, Port Olisar. Whilst I'm on the station, I can access Port Olisar and everything that I've stored within the location inventory. As soon as I leave the station and fly off, I can no longer access those items.
So when you open up your inventory, you'll be able to just press I or go through it, the personal thought, and open up your inventory, and you'll see, okay, there's all of the gear on my character, and then you'll have another kind of window on the other side, which will show all of your local inventory.
That's going to make you consider, what am I going to take with me from this location? It's also introducing the concept of, I want certain things in these locations, so I now have to move them there. I have to physically go there to put them in those locations. Another key aspect of local inventory, which you now set the very first time that you sign in, is your home location.
That home residence has two purposes. One, it becomes your regeneration point, your default regeneration point, whether the hospital or the nearest hospital nearby. And the other thing is that it becomes your default home location for all of your gear, equipment, subscriber flares, vehicles, everything that you own will be deposited at this location.
So we've touched on the largest scale inventory that we have, the location inventory. The next one down is a vehicle inventory. And that marries an inventory container with a ship interior. In the same way that you have to be a location in order to access your location inventory, you have to be inside your ship to access your vehicle inventory.
Larger ships will have more inventory, and smaller ships will have less inventory. And this is simulating all of the lockers and all the physical storage that you would have had on those ships.
The interface allows you to drag and drop from location to vehicle, so you'll be able to move items between locations. The next inventory scale down is external inventory, and that's any inventory container that you interact with that's basically in a box.
It can be in a ship, or it can be a crate out in the world, or it can be a loot box. It can be anything. It could even be the corpses that you leave.
The hell? When you kill someone, the amount of flesh and bones that they leave behind is something you can interact with and start rummaging around inside. It's an interface that allows you to drag off armor, weapons, etc. So finally, the smallest form of inventory is personal inventory, and that's anything that has an inventory container attached to it that you can wear. So whether that's trousers and jacket, there'll be a corresponding UI container for your jacket pockets, for your trouser pockets, etc. That's environment suits, that's core armor, that's leg armor.
And backpacks now are separated from cores, so you can choose which armor you prefer based on the choices that you want, and you'll be able to associate a different backpack to the armor. Light goes with light, medium can have medium and light, and heavy can have heavy, medium, and light.
So with all these different types of inventories, different sizes and whatnot, that brings us to asking, how do you track where everything is? How do I know where I've left that bag of ammo? That brings us to Knickknacks, which is a new mobile app that we're introducing alongside inventory.
You're able to load up Knickknacks, look at it, and at any moment, get a real-time update of all of the items that you have. So you want to know where that P6LR is. And you're like, oh, where did I leave it? Oh, I left it on my ship that's in Port Olisar. Oh, cool. I can go and get that.
As with many other features that have been released with Star Citizen, there's more to come. We'll continue to improve it and work on it and flesh out additional functionality. There's a lot more things to consider, to remember, and to coordinate over. I think we're moving towards what the game is intending to be.
It's very easy as game designers or game developers to focus on individual mechanics and say, oh, this mechanic does this and this mechanic does this. But what my job is and what I'm trying to help deliver is to deliver Chris Roberts' vision. And that vision is this Star Citizen experience that everybody loves and wants to play and everybody is working towards. And inventory and healing are huge ways of moving towards that goal. And the biggest thing that you'll notice is that they're going to change how you play the game.
So what did we learn this week? There's an enormous shift coming to the way everything from shopping to trading to vehicle spawning is happening in the persistent universe. That inventory management will become a more tactical endeavor when the answer to what's in the cave becomes only what you take with you. And that when combined with last week's injury and healing changes, 3.15 is shaping up to be quite a patch. Now don't forget, Ship Showdown is now in the Elite 8, and since I recorded this a few weeks ago, I'm going to go ahead and assume the Argo Cargo is running away with the entire thing. And remember, Digital Citizen Con is coming October 9th, so keep an eye out for even more details in the coming weeks. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all next week.
Well, Jared's prediction is almost coming through. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Alright, so let's go in order. Admiral Kusanagi. Oh, it looks like I'm not coming through on Discord, so I'm going to disconnect and reconnect again so you guys can hear me. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's connecting. Well, look like I may be soloed for this part. So I'll give my own thoughts until I can get people back in Discord. So I like it. I like the new UI, putting items in locations rather than just putting everything in your backpack and your cargo. It will be a change, but hey, it makes sense. I am looking forward to the backpack, and Discord looks like it's still connecting. So okay. Let's see. Nope, just still connecting. At least people can hear me in Twitch chat and everything. So that's okay. So let's go and chat. So what do people think of the IST? What are some of your favorite points? So okay, so chat, it's then go cargo. Big change. Going to take a lot of people, a bit for people to adjust. Yes, I agree. It's going to take a lot for. We're not coming through. Yeah, you're not coming through. Can you guys hear me?
Now we hear you.
Now you hear me.
That's the
Yeah, it's just voice connected. Okay, so real quick, Kusanagi, what did you think of the ISC so far?
Is this me still? So I guess the biggest thing I think it's great. I just think it is so much like time you have to do, like that you're gonna have people like kind of. I think this is gonna be a little more of a role playing game in a way for some, like a little bit more than they expected, because it's like you try to go into like a restaurant and like, hey, it's a black tie, and like, oh, I got to go buy a new suit because I have my suit in my other ship or something like that, and yeah. I mean, I just love these changes in general, but I have to wonder if that's going to be okay for some people.
Cool. Dark Knight.
I'll have to say, this kind of inventory management is not new. We've seen this kind of inventory management in several other games, and I mean, a lot of us have been playing No Man's Sky lately, so inventory management is real, but I see where they're going as a precursor to physicalized inventory of actually going to a box similar to what we see. Say we've all been playing Icarus too. You know you got to have your items stored in one location, and when you go out somewhere, if you don't have it with you, then you're in trouble, and you got to go all the way back and get it for yourself, and get it, and make sure that you even have space to hold on to it, and you're able to carry it due to weight. And so there's a lot of we've seen that, but in Star Citizen is going to be a big difference with people that are used to the fast pace. I've got everything with me. I can switch my weapons out at any station and it's going to be a big difference having to put a backpack on in order to carry extra goods, and you can switch it. It's going to depend on what suit you have, which backpack you can wear. And
it's going to be just like high school.
Yeah, who's gonna have that Jansen and who's gonna have this one, and it's like, but yeah, it's gonna be. I think people will get used to it. I love it. I think it's great. I was telling Uriah in the chat that I keep my ships, in one location. I keep going back, and I get used to it now because I've been used to it in other games before. So yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do want to give a shout out to Abdi Johan for becoming part of the stream team. He's our newest member of
yes.
the association.
Welcome.
Welcome, Abdi. Sorry.
Welcome, Abdi.
Welcome to the team.
Mr. Face, what are your thoughts?
I get no love. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, you got love last time. Don't make me feel guilty like that. Don't guilt me.
No, wait a minute. He did not get love last time because we made that decision after the show on Sunday.
After the show.
Yeah.
My bad, right. Admiral Kusanagi. Let's give a big welcome to Admiral Kusanagi as well. Thank you.
He's a jolly good
two new members.
He's a jolly good fellow.
I am officially a mod, and we got to talk about your permitted terms in here because there's some questionable things.
He's throwing his weight around. Look at this.
Already.
Let me flash my flashlight
already.
in my bag. I see you.
Power mad. What else is new? Face to face. What are your thoughts about ISC?
I dig it, man. We knew it was coming. I enjoy seeing how the way this changes up the game for those people who are going to feel salty. Let it rain.
Okay.
That's my thought.
All right, go mad.
Yeah, like Admiral said, I welcome the added gameplays of not having the bag of holding, so to speak, where it's just infinite access to everything. Yeah, it'll make things a little bit more challenging, but again, it makes it a lot more realistic. I'm just looking forward to being able to store armors and stuff on my ships based upon what I'm going to be doing on those ships, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, to your point, most of the ships, at least in the ship matrix and other databases, well, the ship matrix is the main database, but most of those ships don't have any cargo capacity. Like they say 0 SCU, but like the storage for the Gladius, you can put your guns on it. So shouldn't that count as having some capacity?
No, because cargo is different from inventory.
Can you explain the difference?
So cargo is something that you're transporting, as in like goods or boxes or whatever. Like you go pick up something and take it someplace else. Your inventory can either be on your body, or you can have a gun rack or a suit rack, right? It's the different. It's not like a big box. You're not going to walk into a C2 and just throw your guns on the floor of the cargo bay and be like, oh, it's the same thing as some Laranite, right?
All right. Okay, cool. Thank you for that explanation. Sometimes I play the role of the person who don't know these things just for the viewers to get an understanding. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. No, yeah.
Jade, what are your thoughts about ISC?
Yeah, I am very much looking forward to the physicalized inventory. I mean, it's been something that's been a long time coming and is part of the vision for the game. I do like the first iteration of the UI for the Knickknacks app, I think it's called. And also, totally off of that subject, it's almost like CIG's rooting for that Argo.
You say that.
Jared just like the moves. He
Yeah, I
just
mean,
like
like
the
either
moves.
they're trolling or they're rooting for it. Because I mean, I can count on one hand how many times we've seen an Argo on
Tweet.
ISC or around the verse.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, and
you're
they've been
right.
giving tweet to the Argo too. Go ahead.
That's all. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what 315 brings. And yeah, if you're buying 80 grenades, maybe this is the time to start doing things more realistically.
Why do you hate the name Knickknack? Black Intellect. Give it. Tell us that. Okay. Next up is Kai. What are your thoughts about the ISU?
Like Jade, I definitely noticed the Argo Cargo and the Carrack being prominently displayed there. I think for me, I'm looking forward to sort of a strategic inventory sort of plan, i.e., I'm thinking maybe having a Mercury Star Runner with all of my stuff in it, where I live out of that like a murder hobo, and then I fly that from station to station, and then park in one station and take out all of my mining gear, and then go hop onto my MISC prospector in that station. When I'm done, take the mining gear with me and back to the MSR that I'm living out of, and then take that to another location where I might be doing combat or whatever, and then take my combat loadout. So it's sort of like you're living out of, a van down by the river, and you have all your stuff that you just sort of carry with you. And then I'm going to do my Jared impersonation. So what did we learn this week? That Admiral Kusanagi is not going to miss out on his fast card love.
So can I ask you a question, Kai, real quick? You said you're gonna live down by the river with the hanky pank where the bullfrog jumps from bank to bank. Is that right?
Correct. You are correct, sir.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Just wanted to know.
No, my question is, how long do you intend to live out of your MSR? Because when are you going to move into your C2?
No, so again, the C2 is a much more purpose. So here's the thing. I think the plan is you want to have one ship that you just take from zone to zone, and you try to keep it safeguarded because it's got 9,000 things in it, and it would be a pain in the balls to try to replace all that. And then, like, when you're doing your C2 stuff, you're going to bring a minimal amount of stuff with you, because at that point you're a fat juicy target for pirates or whatever, and you may end up dying. There's no point to bringing, bring a sidearm, bring a machine gun, okay, fine. But realistically speaking, if you're at the point where you're using that in a C2, shit's already gone way too far sideways for you. So, like, you want to limit the amount of, you're at that point expecting a respawn or a ransom, one of the two.
Okay. Welcome back, Griffin.
Oh, I've been back. You just didn't see me.
I didn't see you, sorry. Hops, you're next before Griffin. What are your thoughts?
Okay. I'm loving the look of the the way the inventory system is going to work. I'm just thinking that you are going to really have to be careful of the people that you let on your ship. If you have your ship stocked up and they just start pulling off weapons and going shopping from your ship, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, I'll be going on to Griffin's 890 and saying, "Where the food at?" We raiding his fridge.
No, man. Ray digs that ship. He's the chef. He's got you hooked up.
Yeah, that is true.
Both of
Dig
them.
did say that.
Why not both?
He wanted to
He
be a
should
cook. in
rate
his game.
Gomabs.
Yeah,
He does the grilling. He has the
that's
grilling
true.
skills.
Well, real quick though, shout out to Dig for sending me the most grotesque picture of macaroni and cheese with peas in it last night. Appreciate that.
For those who don't know, Fisher Face does not like peas. That's why
Yeah.
it's a grotesque picture for him.
I'm talking about eggs.
Right. No.
Oh,
going there.
dear.
Not going there.
Yeah,
We're
I'll
leaving
be
it
out.
alone.
Sorry.
We're
Not
leaving it
going there,
alone.
not going there. We're
Not
not going
going
to do
there.
that.
All right,
So,
thank
Griffin,
you.
what are your thoughts?
I think the big thing that I came away with was the way they ended that episode, where they talked about understanding. You don't have audio?
No, that's
No,
the
we heard you
Argo.
fine.
That's where it ended. But go ahead.
Oh no, the way they ended it, talking about how much this is going to change the game. And it's going to be interesting to see how the community responds to these changes. Many people know that these changes were coming. To your point, Fast Card, there are newer players who don't know the depth of Chris's vision and may question why what they might see as limitations in the game. I know when we were a few minutes ago, someone said, I think it was Kusanagi, said that it seems like we're almost moving a little bit more into role playing. But I'm also seeing the fact that what they're forcing us, and we've talked about this before, this is not a new subject for us, but the fact that you're going to have to think about what you're doing. This goes back to risk versus reward. Kai just talked about, choosing which ship is the one that you fly in all the time versus the one that you take out for specific things. And so this inventory piece is also a huge factor to that, because obviously for many of us to stock up a ship, we've talked about it from the level of components, but now we're talking about inventory. We're talking about why you have to buy 7 types of the separate flight suit that you like, and 4 more types of a certain armor that you like, because you're going to have it in all these different locations. And so first of all, it drives a reason for an economy, right? Because you have to buy things, and you have to place these things in different locations to have them accessible. I know there's going to be that time when you go to that one planet where you've got the wrong type of suit with you. You brought the hot suit when you need the cold suit, right?
Yeah.
Or the weapons, maybe the particular weapon types you use. Maybe you're using, you're a big ballistics person, but you've run into something in the game that ballistics does minimal damage to. And I'm talking about from an FPS level, right? The right type of rifle. So there's a lot of things that this is going to introduce into the game. But they said something else at the very beginning of the video, which is the fact that it's also going to force us to collaborate and talk to each other. Because maybe I'm not the person with the railgun, but somebody else is. Or, maybe Jade is that demolitions person who we know has always got the explosives and the grenade launcher. This is going to give some people some flexibility of who goes with them, what they bring with them. And you're going to have to communicate, because if everybody goes out, carrying grenade launchers, but nobody brought the sniper rifle, well, guess what? That might impact what you're trying to do. So I'm looking forward to this. It's a whole new challenge for all of us. Whether you know about it or not, it's going to be a big challenge, and all of us are going to have to do a little bit of adjusting. But I'm excited about it.
And you talk about like getting, having 8, sets of clothes, and you're bringing supply and demand. Like you might only be able to pick up 2. So when you look at you say that for clothes, it's like, okay, well, I need 8 sniper rifles. I need 120 magazines to split up across my ships. They're like, sorry, can't help you out.
Yeah.
See, here's the deal. I love all of y'all, so I'll let all of y'all on my C2 with me. But inside of that, I've got an Argo cargo with my good shit locked up, and y'all can't get in.
Nice.
And Pops, just so you'll know, you will be able to eventually, they are going to put permissions in the game to what people can't access and can't. That's everything from what rooms to inventory containers and everything. So you'll be able to secure your stuff eventually.
But the downside is that there will be hacking in the game. So even though you put permissions on it, it may not do jack.
I have my
no, because hacking just will get you in the ship. You got to hack through the ship. Then you got to hack through whatever I got the stuff in. You don't even know what's in there. Maybe there's nothing in there. I mean, hacking doesn't guarantee anything unless somebody actually knows what they're going for.
Griff said you come after his White Castle, and he's going to shoot.
I was going to say, is that White Castle?
No, you know what? I drove past it on the way home. I started to do it. I said, not this week. I'm eating lifesavers gummies right now. So
okay.
Okay.
Well, if you put like your little Battlestar Galactica robot dog in front of that door, then you won't.
Or inside the door, huh? How about it?
As far as the difference in people, the learning curve and everything, I think like that. I think it'll be easier for new players than experienced players backers because new players aren't used to it yet. So it'll
No. When I said new, I was referring to the ones you were talking about, like people who just recently came into the game.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Who don't know the scope of it. In other words, this may be a sudden change for them. They're just getting used to this current, and they don't know that this stuff is coming. You know what I'm saying? So for them, they might be like, "Whoa, what the heck happened? I used to be able to carry 50 rifles." You know, those of us who've been around long enough knew this was coming. So the adjustment curve is a little bit different for us, at least to me. I think.
But maybe on both sides. Like I think it'll be easier for new players to adjust because they aren't. They aren't used to it. They haven't been doing it for 18 months.
Oh yeah, true.
But for experienced backers,
no, let me counter that, and I'll let you jump in, Kai. I never carry a ton of stuff with me. I have always only carried a few rifles. I've never been a person to go in and buy 50 health pins and blah blah because I knew this was coming one day. So I've always carried one sniper rifle, one automatic, and 2 pistols. Maybe 2 or 3 depending on the mission because you've got, when you used to die and you lose stuff. But I never was one to carry 10 of everything and 20 of everything. So my adjustment curve ain't gonna be like other people. You hoarders out there.
To your point, Griff, I think though this is literally just an echo of the conversation y'all had last week, where you were talking about the fact that some people are going to see this change in the medical gameplay, and it's like, oh, this is a whole new, deeper, more in-depth game. I don't know if this is for me or whatever. I think that's true of medical. That's true of inventory. That's going to be true of 100 different things that come out over the next year or two, especially as shit starts to ramp up in speed and they start to they're hitting their stride and making substantial changes to the game. When salvage comes in, when refueling comes in 3.17, when we actually get our hangars and it's no more click a button on a terminal and now I've got 400 tons of stuff on my ship. Now I got to actually go out there with the cart and start loading up all them little damn boxes. There's a lot of all of this where it's going to keep echoing back and back and back as this game becomes more and more real, more and more grand. That legitimately is going to excite some people and turn off some people. And there's nothing you could do about it other than say, like we told you this was where it was going. It was just going to take a while.
Well, to your point, I'm thinking about all the people who for the last couple of years have been complaining about game mechanics. Well, they're here. It'll be really interesting to see how well we handle, because I think the mechanics that people have been thinking about are not always the mechanics that CIG has been thinking about.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see. And I mean, hopefully people will embrace it. I mean, I think Chris is trying to change the way we play games, or at least this game. And hopefully people will look at it and say it's just a different way of doing it. They won't get turned off and say, "Oh, I'm not, it's too difficult." Hopefully it'll be challenging enough that people will hang in there, and stick with it, because it is going to change the way we have to play a game.
Yeah. Now the only thing I'm curious
ahead.
is the difference between the guns that you buy from, let's say, PO, New Babbage, or whatever, to the guns that you bought with real money. I'm just wondering how that's going to be handled. If you use the gun you buy with real money, what happens to that versus in game?
Yeah, they've addressed that. They haven't talked about how they're going to take care of it yet, but you will always have access to those.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, they've talked about ideas. I think, doesn't No Man's Sky have something where if you lose something, you can go to this particular place and pick up stuff back that you had?
You can loot your corpse, basically.
No, not looting corpse. No. I thought there was like a location that you guys go to get stuff.
You can always go and grab stuff. I don't know, Kai. There really some one-offs that you can never go back and get? Usually, probably from expeditions and stuff. But for the most part, all the other stuff you can always go back.
Yeah, you can go back if you've completed something on an expedition. You can go back to the anomaly and purchase it from the vendor or whatever. And I think that they've already said that they're going to have like a store in game at different space stations or whatever that you go to, where it's like, this is the subscribers club, or this is the, they'll give it some in universe lore name, but it's like, if you like, okay, I'm out doing whatever, I've got a gun that I bought with subscriber flair, Jade comes up behind me and is like, yo noob, give me your loot, and then I say no, and she shoots me in the head and then takes my gun. It's going to be a situation where eventually, when someone catches up to Jade and whatever, and she gets killed or whatever, then she goes to prison or has to hack her way out, whatever. And then I'm going to go to that subscriber store, and they're going to have like a box where it's like, this was in the lost and found. Somebody found this off of a criminal and mailed it into us, and it's your nameplate is on here, etched on here, and here's your gun back.
I just wanted to go to something the Black Intellect said. He said he thinks the game will gain more folks than it loses with this stuff, and I agree.
Yeah,
it could. Yeah, just the fact that it's different. You know what I mean? And if people are looking for something different and challenging, like I said, hopefully it won't chase people away, but it'll get people as a challenge.
I think it will for sure do both. It will chase some away. It will bring some in.
Yeah.
Okay. So normally I put this at the end of the show. I'm going to put it in the middle because we have the machinima and it's 11.5 minutes long. So I'm going to give people a chance to get some snacks or get a drink before that. So I'm going to ask.
It's a good one. It's a good one too. It's a good one too. This machinima you guys really, really want to see. It's the first part in the series. So
before that, I want to get to a question that Black Intellect asked. He said, which is more maddening to you? New players who don't look at keybind before playing and call everything a big or a big, okay, or old backers who haven't played in years and think they know the game,
bug, I think you meant,
and won't listen to folks who know better. So so which is more maddening? New players who don't look at key binding, old backers who haven't played in years but think they know everything.
Backers, hands down.
Which one?
I agree.
Old backers, hands down, because they should know better.
Yeah, I was going
Because
to say old
better.
backer.
Yeah, I got to go with the old backers too.
Yeah, I got to go.
You remember that conversation that we had with a few of the older backers that did not know what was going on in the game when we were explaining it?
Yeah.
I mean, like
That
a lot
was- No.
Oh, we're not going to name names.
Well, here's the thing. While both of them are like a thing for sure, why would you get angry at a new player who just doesn't know yet? Like, there's a difference between ignorance and stupidity. You know, ignorance is you haven't learned yet. Stupidity, you should know better and you've done effed up anyways. Like yeah, of course you're going to be more angry at those people that really should know better. New people, the point of that is it's on you to reach out to them and help them, teach them, say like, hey man, let me bring you along. Let's teach you this stuff.
But I think Black Intellect pointed that new players who don't look at key binding before playing.
Yeah, it's kind of like
but he says he called it a bug is what he meant to say.
Oh, bug,
So when
okay.
people do something and because it doesn't work, they say, "Oh, this game's so buggy," blah 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 blah. You know,
Or they do something and it works as intended, and they think it's a bug, like waiting for an elevator. You know, like, that was a great video that we watched.
Yeah, eating with the helmet on.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Good question, Black Intellect. Thanks for throwing that in
Thank you
there.
for that one. All right, so next up we have the machinima. You want to give us some background on that one, Griffin?
Yeah, this is one I just stumbled across as usual when I'm out there searching. This is about 3 weeks old, but it is a machinima, as I mentioned, a series. It looks like that they're going to do, and this is one of those series that I'm actually like, okay, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, waiting to see where they go with this. I think that you'll dig it. Very well done, and I won't say anything else. I'll let it speak for itself. Let's run it.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Ava, it's Nate. Look, I know you're on terminal leave right now, but I need to ask you a favor. It's a lucrative one if you'd only answer the phone. There's some very bad people about to do some very bad things. And I need someone like you, with your experience, to go make sure it doesn't happen. Elite is spread too thin with this pyro stuff, and Stan's security and all their wisdom can't handle it. So give me a call back. Please.
You're uglier than I thought. But I suppose that comes with the territory. Grifter says you've got more blood on your hands than a fat kid with a fistful of ice cream.
I need the money.
Yeah, that's what the last guy said. And then he tried taking a 5-fingered discount on the goods. Ended up with his head in a vice. Talk about ground beef, eh?
I do not waste time.
Alright, look. All you gotta do is head out to Reclamation and Disposal. Snatch a case of slam from one of our boys, the traders. Once you get the goods, haul them back here, and you'll get that payday you've been waiting for.
Very well.
One more thing. Our trader out there, he's a Fruit Loop, but he's been real good at getting us what we need when we need it. So make sure he makes it out of that place in one piece.
Set a course for Hurston. Engines full power. Prepare for quantum look on my mark.
Here's another on the house. Looks like you could use it, no offense.
Thanks, but I gotta make a call first.
Ava, it's about time.
How much?
Name your price. After this, I won't ask for anything more. Promise.
I guess I could go for one last trigger pull. What is it this time? Another trespassing violation that Hurston's security can seem to handle themselves?
Sort of. You in a secure spot?
Everyone here's drunk.
Look, we've got intel of a drug trade about to go down out at Reclamation and Disposal Warrant on Hurston. Looks like one of Grifter's guys is playing for a rival gang, which, from what it's looking like, means they're working together now. We need to make sure that doesn't happen. Send everyone a message how it's gonna be if they want to go down that road.
How many?
2, maybe 3, but nothing you can't handle.
When?
As soon as you can get there. Deal's supposed to go down sometime tonight.
Not sure I'll be sober by then.
Not sure I need to know that. Look, I really appreciate this, Ava. Like I said, just name your price and I'll make it happen.
Nah, it's not about the money, boss. Never was.
Eddie, what's good?
Eat a dick.
Corsair Actual, this is Ops. The airspace is clear.
Copy that. How long you guys on station tonight?
Got to pull off once you arrive. Boss wants us on the pyro raid tonight.
Well, good luck with all that. Guess I'll give you my report in the morning.
Roger that, Corsair. Good luck tonight. Give a bell.
Forgot how much I hate this shithole. Well, well. Look what the cat dragged in. Let's get this party started.
You certainly are larger than what I anticipated. And you even brought a grenade launcher to the party. Where is the slam? Now, Mr. Robo-Man, there's no need to skip the foreplay. That certainly is a wonderful-looking grenade launcher, but it's distracting from my concentration. Very well. Oh, thank you. I can appreciate a man with self-control. Come with me and I'll show you the goods. You don't know how lonely it gets out here. No one to talk to, no one to have fun with. I don't have time for this. Where is the package? Oh, don't worry. You'll get it. I just want to know a little bit more about the man behind the mask. You have 3 seconds to show me the slam. 3. Oh, 3 seconds. I would have taken you for a 30. 2. I'll tell you what, if I take off my mask first, will you take off yours, 1. Oh, all right. You types are always so serious.
Like fish in a barrel. Sayonara, motherfucker.
Business as usual. Damn it.
Yeah, keep running, asshole. Fuck. Goddamn whiskey. Come on, Ava. Oh, come on, Ava, you fucked it up. Shit! The fuck is this asshole? Come on, where are you? Goddamn whiskey. Oh shit!
My turn.
Albatross, this is Reaper Actual. Airspace is clear, but we've got to break station soon.
Albatross, copy so. Should be an easy pickup, then we're out here.
Famous last words, Albatross.
Hey now, don't jinx us. Albatross, wheels down. Bulldog team cleared off.
Roger, Albatross.
Bulldog team, on me. You know the drill. Keep an eye out on those junk piles. Scavenger gangs love to camp places like this. Bulldog team is last man, moving to package.
Bulldog Actual, 1 minute till Reaper team's got to break station.
Bulldog team has identified the body. Confirmed to KIA. Jesus, Ava. I should have never sent you alone like this.
Hey, boss. We're pretty exposed out here. Permission to push into a defensive suite?
Yeah, boss. This place don't feel right.
We'll find whoever did this. I promise. Axel, carrier inside. All units, Bulldog team has the package. Moving for exfil.
Bulldog team, you're clear to board. All last man.
Last man.
Wow, the actors are all mostly one person. Alright, so put that in mute. Let's go with Dark Knight. What'd you think of the machinima?
That was excellent. I mean, thank goodness they have a platform to do something like this in. These are serious filmmakers. I don't know. They're not amateurs. Whoever put this together, they are not amateurs. They are professionals. They knew what they were doing. They have absolutely impeccable editing skills. There's sound effects, the music, timing, the sense of suspense and things like that. This is top quality filmmaking that they put together here, and we are only going to see more of this as pros like these guys here get hands on this game, and it starts to develop into whatever sim this ends up being. This is just the beginning. We're going to see full movies. We're going to see series. We're going to see so much come out of this. This is amazing. That's all I got to say. Well done. Absolutely well done.
Dark Knight, don't hold it in. Tell us how you really feel. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it sucked. No, I'm kidding.
Face to face, you're next.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. No, I enjoyed this. So this was actually, to be honest with you, out of the best one I've ever seen out of all the machinimas I've seen. The pacing was good, voice acting was good. All of the Foley and sound effects were great. A little bit tad unbalanced on some of the things, from music to certain things, the loudness, but it was pretty good.
Okay, fair enough. Go, Matt.
I mean, yeah, everybody else said it's awesome. I'm going to say it's awesome. But what I'm just, a couple ISCs ago, they were showing the cinematic, the tools that they use to be able to do the cinematics, right? And then get the shots and stuff. Now, I know we have, quite a bit of camera tools in the game to be able to make some great stuff, as you can see in machinima like this. But just imagine if these guys got a hold of the internal tools that CIG has available to them. CIG needs to go ahead and hire this guy or the studio, whoever did this, and say, hey, look, y'all go ahead and handle our commercials and our movies and stuff, because they're storytellers.
I think it's getting to a point now where CIG has hired so many people from the community. It's just they can hardly take anymore at this point. I don't know.
Well, what they can do, I mean, just like Turbulent, right? Say, hey, look, again, my vision, my hope, my dream for Star Citizen is for it to be a platform, right? More than just a game, but for it to be an extensible platform where you have multiple game studios, multiple game companies, multiple, creative studios, all making content for the platform to grow it out and increase the scope and expansion of the verse.
And I don't disagree with you. I think CIG could hire more people. They should definitely put out these tools so people in the community can make more machinima like this. It's just a question of when they're going to do it. I don't know about that. Yeah. So how about you, Jade? What are your thoughts?
Are you calling on me?
Yep, Jade.
Yes. Yeah. this was spectacular. Everything here was extremely professional, and as DK said, we're only going to see more of this as the game becomes, closer to release and gets more popular. You're going to see people who this will be their thing. This will be their thing in the game is making movies, making videos, making music videos, making TV shows, making whatever. Um, we have really, really good cinematic camera tools, and like GoMap said, I'd really love to see, if some of the ones that are behind the curtain now, like, could actually somehow be implemented into the game, so we can even do more. I've said it before, and I'll say it again: the community making videos like this does as much to sell the game, if not more, than the actual commercials that CIG puts out. And that's why they hire people from the community like Alex S189 and like Torellian. And, I wouldn't be shocked to see these people working for them in a year or two.
So question, Jared, what do you think of the music choice in this one?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even comment on the music. Yeah, so the music totally fit this. Absolutely love it. I mean, I have a thing for that style of music anyway, as you well know. But it totally fit. And oh, by the way, one more thing, you should appreciate this one, Fast Cart. When the guy leaves Grim Hex in the Drake ship, whose name I can't, of the Buccaneer, he's talking to his ship. He's using something like voice attack because he's in the 30th century, right? Yeah.
Voice attack. Who put voice attack on a Drake ship?
Yeah, right. Well, somebody obviously with some good taste, even though they like Drake. But we'll not go there. But yeah, I love the music. And another thing is looking at like their use of lighting. That's what everything looked so pro because the way they set up scenes, the way they waited for specific lighting to be in certain places. That's a filmmaker or several filmmakers.
Hi, what are your thoughts?
I thought it was fantastic, as everybody said. I think that as far as like, oh, we got to hire them, this, that, and the other. I think it's a little easier than that, and I don't know what they've got priority wise, and I'm sure they got a lot of things. CIG has a lot of things they're focused on at the moment. I think you could definitely go that route, but far easier. You could just go the route of having a monthly contest where they do with one of their streams that they do every week, they once a month pull in a couple of videos and play them and highlight community content and sort of hype it up and give it attention, as well as maybe put a thing there where there's a Twitter poll or whatever and people vote, and whatever gets the most votes or whatever, they win some kind of a prize. Hey, you want to X ship or whatever, and like go take that asset into the game and go film some stuff with that and show us continue the story. I would love to see just a spotlight be shown on all of the different content creators that are making this cool stuff. And I think that the more it'll snowball, the more you highlight it, the more people will up their game and really, take it to that next level. And it's a ton of free marketing. So love it.
Yeah, it sounds like Citizens of the Stars from a few years ago.
Yeah. Pops, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, to what everyone has said, from DK, the acting, the shots, you can tell that they're pros. These are definitely pros. From scene one, they were definitely pros. And to what Griff said, looking forward to the next. The one thing I want to say is the voice casting. That was perfect. Everybody's voice fit.
You look at the credits. They're mostly done by two or three people, I think.
Yeah. It's as if they went out and casted, just voice actors and got the right ones for the right jobs. And I love the Darth Vader.
And last but not least, our new mod, Admiral Kusanagi. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was great. I mean, there's nothing else I can really say that other people here haven't said. I was trying to hit the delete voice swear button, but I couldn't find that one. But it was excellent. Yeah, it was fantastic. I think I will say that, even like when they were coming in and they were doing role playing, but it was just kind of like what you do normally. Like if I sit down in a location, you're gonna have somebody patrol above you to check the AO. So again, I think it's just gonna be uh kind of a bigger thing than people think. I know Nubifier earlier mentioned talk about people just trying to get in the game for half an hour, but I think that's where your that's where your Squadron 42 come in. That's where the PU come in, because you're all different time frames you're available. So SIG is really like putting everything out there to fit a piece of of the game to fit every person's schedule. And I think, this thing right here, this video here just showcases, where it's going. So I think it's fantastic.
Oh, by the way, Kai, yeah, I say last but not least, I'm not forgetting Griffin. Griffin is the host like me, so we actually go last by the time of the last as guest wise. That's what I meant. So Griffin, what are your thoughts? I have a question related to this, but
Sure.
I'll save it. I'll save it until you go.
Oh, okay. One of the things I paid attention to, I mean, like everybody said, it's a great video, well produced. One of the things that's also makes these good, beyond the visuals and the ooh and ah of how good things look, is the writing. The script on this was really good. Dialogue was really good. It felt believable. The points where there was dark humor, was there, but it wasn't overt. But the thing I noticed about watching this was, and I don't know, sometimes this is the capability of the computers who are the people who are recording, but I noticed how much more smoother things looked in general. The only janky stuff is still kind of when, avatars are walking, but in general, frame rates, things, particularly when the ship was patrolling above, there were some other things that I'm just kind of noticing that it seems like things are just kind of smoothing out more and becoming more cinematic. And I know some of that is also a matter of what type of mouse and what type of settings they set at and everything else. But whoever did this, whether it was because they knew how to use the camera controls or whether or not CIG is just refining it more and more, it just really, really looked good. So I was impressed. Second point I want to mention is about, we were talking about people being brought on. And I want to kind of take a hybrid of what Kai and Jade said. And that's going to be, there is some freedom when you don't work for a company, right? As when you can work independent of a company. But as long as you also know what you're producing reflects what that company would like to see. And so I would love to see it, like you said earlier, where there's submissions later on. We've talked about the monitors, on the ships and in the game, where we could see this stuff. When you go to a bar, maybe that's a cool place to be able to see community-driven stuff. Instead of just seeing ads for ships, now we're seeing a cinematic, like you're sitting there watching a movie or whatever. They find ways to incorporate that into so that the community is constantly making this stuff, right? And, there could be some qualifiers and requirements of what these videos need to look like to be submitted. But I think the community would step up to it. And especially if it means that, hey, that video that we put together is now being broadcast in Grimhex, very cool thing. I would love to see something like that come out of this in the end.
Absolutely.
I have something to go along with that, because you hit on a point I wanted to make. But compared to other games, especially games that aren't out yet, how did the community output of content compare to like something like maybe Elite Dangerous or No Man's Sky? Like, does anyone know? Because it seems like Star Citizen community put out a lot of content.
I'll throw in the Elite Dangerous community does put out a ton of content, and they and there's a lot of stories that have been written. There's a lot of short stories and short films that have been done in Elite Dangerous. So the community there does, at least in the past. I'm not sure how many are actually doing much now, but I know that when I first got in, there were people were doing long scripted expedition serial stories and short films, and it was really cool to see. So I know in that community they do, for sure.
Okay, I was just curious.
At least in the past, I haven't paid attention much now.
Now, to go to the point about the frame rate being smooth, I would just I literally typed my question. What is it about game capturing that makes things choppy? Like when you're playing the game, everything is smoother. But to me, I can see the frame. Even when people are capturing at 60 frames per second, it still seems choppy.
Because it's taking up computer resources in order to re-encode and transmit that stream. So your computer's not just running the game; it's also having to take that video signal, run it through an encoder, and put it on the platform that you're streaming it to. That's why a lot of that's what a lot of streamers have a secondary computer which they run an HDMI pass-through that handles that encoding in order to smooth out their streams. Most really big streamers have a separate, really powerful streaming PC for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So there's no way you can do it on one PC to make it.
No, unless you got a really powerful workstation.
Yeah, right. It's not a no way situation. It's just that it has to be a really, really powerful. Like with rigs, we have a really good rigs, and we will still get that. You really do have to go maps dead, have an independent machine to get around it as best as possible because you could still have it happen. But
remember when they were doing the NVIDIA Titans? What was it? The NVIDIA Titan card?
Oh my god, it was like 10 grand.
Yeah. Them things were like 10 grand, but that's what you would be running if you wanted to do something like that on one computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that and Threadripper.
And a Threadripper.
Threadripper could do it. Yeah, Threadripper could probably do it.
So 5950 won't cut it.
Possible.
It's not just that fast, Cart. I mean, it's also not to be funny, but like when we were first streaming, we used to have a lot of offbeat lag, and that was because my computer to run a game and this at the same time draws a lot. And XSplit, for example, uses a lot of resources, and we both use XSplit. So there's a lot of factors that could go into why, for you when you're playing the game, it looks great, but by the time it comes out to the stream, it's running with some type of what seems like lag or desync. But like you said, you got to have a really good, powerful computer to do it on one computer.
Speaking of limited resources, oh, go ahead.
What was that?
I was just going to say, speaking of limited resources, I thought that it was impressive that he fired all of the ballistic ammunition he had at one person. Because if you hold down the ballistics for 8 seconds, you're empty. So he had to go reload then.
Either that or he re-edited that clip several times.
It was in slow motion.
I'm not taking away. I'm not trying to take away anything from this creator or any content creator. There's something I noticed and something I wanted to ask about it. And thank you for indulging me for that. So I like the machinima. I thought it was nicely done. Great. Voice acting was top notch. I was surprised to see the credits at the end. It had 2 or 3 of the same voice actors. So that's real talent there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more episodes from this one. Because this aired in August 31st, so I don't know how often they're going to put the content out, but I'm looking forward to it. So.
Same.
Good job.
Yeah.
This one features the Argo cargo.
Yeah, and
wouldn't doubt it.
This is done by Elite Expeditionary. Go ahead.
That was it.
It'd be like those videos, the happy terrapin. There's a whole YouTube series.
Oh God, yeah,
about the terrapin.
Yeah,
they're like, finally, I have a use.
Those are funny. Yep.
So because of my technical difficulties, we had to cut the Showdown discussion to it. Did I miss anything while I?
No, we came back to this. We were good.
Okay.
We could look at the Argo commercial again, and then so that we can get pumped up for the Argo to win the whole thing.
Wait, there's an Argo commercial?
Oh yeah, it was a submission.
MPUV commercial?
No. It was the one it was a submission. It was a comedic submission. It's on the page.
Okay.
Check it out when you get time. It's pretty funny.
I will definitely do that. Thank you.
I'll
Put
post
that
the link.
videos for me because I don't think I've seen that myself.
I'll post it. I'll post it in general.
Thanks, Admiral. Thank you.
Okay. So Next up we have
Decoupled,
not decoupled for Sunday's show. Join us on Sunday, September 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 24 or midnight UTC. We're having me and Griffin. Oh, we're gonna be a couple. It's been 18 months. I'm so happy you remembered.
Divorce is coming, don't.
Hey, at least I can have, right? I can have. So that means all your origin ship.
We don't live in California. Sorry.
Darn it. Okay, so we're
when
gonna
mom and dad fight like this.
We're gonna have DQ, Carbon Kill, GIP, the Gippo GIP.
Actually, that's the Girl in Ponytails. Girl in Ponytails from Carbon Tales is going to be on with her hubby.
Okay.
The cute.
And also Montoya and Ninja Girl.
Yep. These are folks who are
interesting show.
These are folks who are into Star Citizen as married couples, and we can figure out how they divide up their ships and who pays for them and all that stuff.
I was just gonna say, like, my boyfriend and I play, and the best thing about that is he doesn't have to ask about buying a ship. And, you know,
it's good.
Like, okay.
It's a good setup. It's a good setup.
It makes sense.
Hey Griff, can I post that video here or?
Yeah, you can drop it in. You can drop it in for folks who want to see it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Does that work for everybody? Does that work?
Oh, I'm sure it works. Oh yeah, it'll work.
Okay.
Yep.
The
Perfect.
great
Thank
thing
you.
about leaving alone is that I don't have to ask for anyone. I just ask myself, and even then, I have to question some of the decisions I make. So, hey, no, but that should be a fun show. We planned it for like we talked about that one last year, didn't we?
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
So, did you buy a fast cargo?
Oh man, that was terrible.
I couldn't hit the Wawa button fast enough.
That was almost colossal terrible.
That was a serious question.
Colossal,
Thank you very much.
Did you see me looking at the
He
camera?
would laugh if he was there.
He's in colossal territory.
That's too funny. Too funny.
All right, thanks for
great.
that. I can end with this quote. I need a vacation. Hasta la vista, baby. No, so check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. We sell merchandise. Check the link below on Twitch for we sell t-shirts, mugs, and mouse pads. So a great way to support us. We also have a Patreon for support. So thank you for everyone who has supported us in the past and will continue to support us in the future. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yo.
Gonna sign us off, Fast Cart.
Yeah, with that, I want to say peace, love, and soul. I was getting there.